The ride is to raise money for SIDS.
The main purpose of the ride, raising money and donations for SIDS and kids, which goes towards bereavement counselling and support for families who've lost a child to SIDS or sudden unexplained death of an infant up to the age of 6 years old. While raising donations, we raise awareness of SIDS. And you know, all the guys at some point in their lives have been either directly or indirectly affected by SIDS. I'm writing for a family in New Zealand this year who lost a child 3 years ago to stillbirth. Got his photo on my bike, and you know, at their request, taking him on an adventure. You know, we've had other riders on the ride too who have both had lost children themselves. So, you know, we're all family men, family guys, and, you know, we're just combining our love and our passion for motorbike riding to raise money for the community. So, thank you. So, you know, we get an adventure, we raise money for SIDS, and, you know, and combines our love of riding and charitable cause. And SIDS is a great organisation. They get less than 5% funding from the government, so they rely very, very heavily on community-based projects and fundraising activities such as the Great Australian Ride.
They've had quite a bit of success though, haven't they? Like they seems to be, you know, since they because it was Red Nose Day was SIDS,
not long ago, end of June.
So there's certainly sort of a lot of people still talk about SIDS, and there seems to be a lot more awareness now.
Absolutely, and it's events like this that really bring it out to the surface. I mean, we've met people who, I mean, I've got a friend of mine, I've known her for 4 years, and I only just found out a week before the ride that she actually lost a son to SIDS, and he would have turned 12 the day we left Byron Bay. I mean, we're hearing these stories of people, when we say SIDS, they go, oh, I lost a child, and it's just, what we're doing, the awareness that we raise is tenfold on the donations, and at the end of the day, combine the money, combine the awareness, and it's great to see.
No worries. Better hand spin away from the mic is good there for you guys if you want to come a bit closer over there. Thank you. How many Ks is it total?
7,500.
Yep.
7,500.
Over 20 days.
5 states.
And how many are in your crew? So you're missing
11.
5?
Yeah, there's 11 this year.
5 total?
Oh, we've got 11 in our crew. There's only 5 riders, 6 that are made.
That's passenger. That little tune is called Let Her Go on 703 ABC Alice Springs. So how many riders, sorry?
We've got 5 riders and our support vehicle driver.
5 riders.
We started with 10.
No worries. It's pretty grim, isn't it?
50%. Last year we started with 12 and finished with 6.
Here we go. News headlines are just around the corner here on 703 ABC Alice Springs, but how would you feel about jumping on a motorbike and travelling about 7,500 Ks or so from one side of the country to the other? That's what's happening right now as part of the Great Australian Ride. It's to raise awareness for SIDS, Sudden Infant Death Syndrome, and 3 riders are here with us in the studio, Derek, Christian and Stuart, who are all taking part in the Great Australian Ride. They just dropped into Alice Springs. Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Welcome to Alice Springs.
Thank you very much. Good to be here again.
Yeah. Now this is the Christian, you were saying is this the 3rd time you guys have been here?
This is the 3rd annual event of the Great Australian Ride. Stuart here, having done it solo in 2011.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, with a bag of croissants and an LCM bar.
That was all.
Packed up the bike and decided to do a wonderful thing for a local charity in Brisbane. And last year he put it out on Facebook, who wants to come with me? So I jumped on board because I wasn't going to let him have all the fun by himself.
Of course, absolutely.
Too good an opportunity to pass up. So I've jumped on board and we recruited a team of 12 riders last year. And such a great success for SIDS and Kids, raising $26,200. We were already planning this year's ride the day after we arrived in Perth.
And here you are again.
And
so,
here we are.
Stuart, what was the inspiration for originally doing and taking to the road?
My daughter, she was premature, born 2 months premature at the Royal Brisbane Hospital, and we just wanted to do something together, really, and to give back. You know, it's just we just decided to work together and on a community sort of scale to give back, and it raised 5,200, and then it was really the power of duplication. If we was to get other guys, you know, we're sort of meeting people along the way and thought, wouldn't it be great for other people to share that experience? Because the Outback's just full of magical experiences and the wildlife. And it just grew. They just threw it out from Facebook. and people just flock to it.
The awareness of SIDS these days is far, far greater than it was, well, let's say 10, 15, 20 years ago, really, which I guess is a good thing. And as you ride, I'm sure you're having lots of conversations with people who are, learning about it or learning more.
That's right, and we have flyers and a lot of information that we drop along the route. We travel through 5 states, and we find even in the most remote parts of Australia that people have been affected by SIDS.
The interest and the generosity of the public is what makes this event so successful. We pull into camp, and we no sooner are we telling people about what we're doing that they're asking us how much they can donate. Obviously no amount's too small or too large, of course, but the interest that the ride generates because of the reason why we're doing it is phenomenal. The generosity of the public is overwhelming. And
Derek, you've come from New Zealand to take part in this ride across the country?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, what inspired you?
Well, a mate of mine, Joshua Thurgold, did the ride last year, and he talked me into doing it as well, and I couldn't make it happen last year, but I thought, man, it's such an amazing adventure and such a great cause. I just had to do it this year.
Yeah,
just made it happen.
And how's it going so far?
Fantastic.
Having fun. Yeah. Now, Christian, you're riding for is it friends of your family or a couple that you know who did lose a child to SIDS?
Personal friends of mine, Gemma and Travis Scanes in New Zealand, are following very, very closely. I'm taking their little boy on an adventure this year at their request and riding in his honour. Hayden Maxwell Scanes sadly was born sleeping 3 years ago at 39 weeks, and it's taken the family a couple of years to recover, and they're still going through the process, and will always go through the bereavement process, having lost a child. But they are just beside themselves in pride and admiration for what the Great Australian Ride are doing for SIDS. But on a personal level for them, the healing that this ride is providing them has been an inspiration for me to keep going. I Skype them along the way, and I'm taking photos of Hayden in the outback and photos of Hayden in front of iconic pubs, and I'm taking my little co-pilot on an adventure this year, and he's having a ball, and he's looking out for me. He's my little angel on my shoulder, and I'm proud and honoured to be riding for Hayden and for the Scanes family.
Stuart, how are you feeling physically this year? Because I mean, that's a lot of time in one position, surely, isn't it?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm used to this sort of. The Simpson was quite easy for me.
Oh, really?
Year.
Yeah. Okay.
The new one for us was the Stony Straw Desert from Cordillo.
Yeah.
Some of these words catch me out.
You should hear him trying to pronounce the Aboriginal names. It's hilarious.
And what about you, Derek? Are you feeling physically, is it taking a toll on you, or are you feeling all right?
Not too bad. I guess I'm fairly bike fit. I do a lot of riding in New Zealand as well, but different terrain, of course.
Yeah.
Some of the roads have been pretty corrugated and a lot of rocks, and that's taken its toll on both the bike and riding.
I can tell you why these guys are feeling good, because they're out in front. They don't have the dust problem to deal with. Right. It's the little guys like me in the back that have to cough and sputter on their dust.
Because Christian, is it right? You've got 5 riders now, but you started out with
10.
Double that
from Byron Bay.
Yeah, so they've all had bike problems, have they?
Well, we had 3 guys who, and the ride is not just an east to west ride. Riders can sign up just to ride out of Byron Bay with us for the day. They can camp overnight. They can do a stage. Stage 1 was opened up just to Birdsville this year, and we had 3 riders who committed to the Birdsville Stage 1, and they turned around and headed back to Brisbane, which was quite sad for us because we'd become very close, good mates with these guys, and we're continuing on, and they're back in Brisbane now. We did have one rider pull out for business reasons. He had to return urgently, which was sad to lose him as well. He was our champion firewood collector. And
that's a bummer.
And with motorbike riding, you can fall off your bike riding out your driveway and hurt yourself. And motorbike riding has its dangers. And we did have one team member go down with a broken collarbone this year, which that's people are aware of the dangers when they sign up, and it's just one of the risks of motorbike riding.
So Stuart, you guys got into Alice Springs yesterday, and you head off tomorrow, and you're headed for Street Point in WA?
Steep Point in Western Australia. Yeah, it's a small peninsula, and that's probably the most difficult part of the whole trip. 22 k's of sand dunes.
Whoa!
So that's the real test.
Yeah,
this is the vast.
Right at the end when you're feeling exhausted.
The last 40 k's are the hardest 40 k's of the 7,000 we travel.
It's a mental. It's not just all physical either. It's a lot of mental. The vastness and leaning on one another when it's difficult, because there are difficult times.
I can imagine.
We club together and get the job done.
And that's what makes this ride so great. And what draws people to the ride is, a lot of people want to ride across the country, but they don't want to do it on their own. So here we have a team of guys who work together. We have our support vehicle, and it's a great opportunity for people to have that adventure, that you know, they don't want to do by themselves.
Absolutely. So Christian, if people are listening and if they've been touched by SIDS and they want to give some money to you guys, where can they find out more information about the trip that you're on?
No donations too small or too large, as I said. The website for the Great Australian Ride is www.thegreataustralianride.com. There is a link there where people can donate through our secure Everyday Hero website, and they can leave a message for the riders to show their support. And they can also look us up through Everyday Hero directly, Everyday Hero / the Great Australian Ride.
No worries. Derek, Christian and Stuart, great to see you guys. Good luck with the rest of your ride. It's called the Great Australian Ride, and I hope that no more sore legs and bottoms for the foreseeable future.
Thanks very much, Rowan. We really appreciate it, and I hope that the public get behind us and follow along on our adventure.
All the best.
Thank you, Alice.
Yeah, catch you later.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Magic.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Nice one. Did you have a little GoPro? Was that a GoPro?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're pretty cool, aren't they? Yeah, very cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Get a photo.